we've learnt a lot of hard lessons over those 13 years of do's and don'ts of how to help people that are in distress from either drugs or alcohol or mental health or domestic violence. We have the first domestic violence centre in Queensland for male victims, and it's the only one operating in Australia. 1 in 3 DV victims are men. So we do a great job with very little resources and no money. It's sort of typical, but things are changing, and like it says in Revelations, where old men dream dreams again. And so we're dreaming dreams again, and they're big dreams about ending homelessness in Australia and then the world. So the real stumbling block is money, and I'll let Lisa start to talk a bit first, and then I'll explain what we're asking for.
Hi everybody. Some of you have heard of Shelter by Grace, and many of you have visited, which has been amazing. So for those of you who don't know us, or a little bit about our story. So we had a calling from God to house the world when we were fairly new Christians, I guess. It was a little while ago now.
Yep.
And we were like, oh no, can't hear. What are you saying to us? I can't hear you. So after God caught up with us, we had been trying to establish an affordable housing project, and we're getting nowhere, talking to whole councils and then not hearing anything and going, what's going on? And of course it was about not in my backyard. It's okay in your electorate, but not in mine. So there's a whole overlay of political issues around homelessness. But after running for a while, we set up Shelter by Grace in 2009. And part of our constitution, we have a board and we're a not-for-profit. So part of our constitution, we've actually embedded Luke 4:18, which I think Pastor Matt spoke about before, about the Spirit of the Lord is upon me because he has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised. So we had many challenges setting up. The devil does not want to let go of the people that he controls. But God really just buffeted us through all of the attacks. As one door closed, another one would open. And it was a little bit like the story of Nehemiah, where he was repairing the walls with one hand and fighting with a sword with the other. That kind of felt like our lives back when we actually were setting up. So we really got to know God. We had to press him close, and we had to learn that he had control. And now 14 years later, here we are. So we house single men and women over the age of 25 who are homeless or at risk of homelessness due to mental health, addictions, domestic violence, and really trauma is the underlying issue. So we started with 12 beds, and now we have 24 beds, and we're seeing the fruits of